afternoon, everybody. Phoenix Girl here, and today is the Super Bowl. I guess we're gonna find out who's gonna win tonight. Just give me a second. Sorry about that. Here, so. Alright. Okay. Alright. So, today we're gonna take a look at Bill Hayes Memorial. I watched like almost the whole thing yesterday, and it was pretty good. So, basically there's like a really long intro, and then we're gonna skip right about here to about 14 minutes in. Alright, so here we are. Bill, by the way. I wonder when this was taken. Probably probably in the 90s or something? I don't know.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Hayes family, we'd like to welcome all of you here today. Looking out to receive faces that have come from far and wide to be here, and they thank you for that. Before we get started, we just want to ask you to turn off your cell phones. There are only 2 calls we're accepting today, from God and from Bill Hayes. And we know they're together. I know when thinking about Bill's passing, and I'm sure so many people had remembrances of Bill. Do you remember when we did that and when he said that? And some of whom are here that were in a show with him. So there were a lot of discussions about the relationships that you had with Bill Hayes. I would like to take a moment and tell you mine. I have been a member of this church for 49 years, but I would never tell anyone who brought me to the church, because they would say things like, "This is a wonderful congregation, great people, a nice fellowship. How did you get in here?" And so, because it was so ominous in what they were saying, I thought they might try to hurt the people who brought me.
That's not very funny. What the fuck? That's not very funny.
So I never told them. So today, I'm telling everyone, it was Bill and Susan Hayes who brought me to this church 49 years ago. And what is so remarkable, because when I first met Bill and Susan, I was at NBC and I was in network promotion. And I said, part of my job at that time was to go to the float builders and put our celebrities on the floats. And I asked Bill and Susan if they would do that, and they agreed. But now let me tell you this. It had to be the coldest July 1st ever. And first they would meet at my office. We had several celebrities, and the limousines would come to my office, and then we would caravan to Pasadena. And they had to be on the float by 5 o'clock in order for the float to be judged. And Susan, of course, was in this flowing, shimmery, very thin garment. And I'm sure she was freezing, but it had to be the coldest morning. But they were, they were troopers and went through it and did the parade. I don't remember which float they were on, but it was a great day. So you can imagine, I was surprised when they said, "George, will you come to our church?" I think they hated me for life, you know? But maybe, thinking about it, maybe they were trying to correct my behaviors. I don't know. We have a lot when we think about Bill, that today, as we paint that picture, that portrait of Bill, we will see those bright colors that is his life. And we're going to share that today. And it's going to be a glorious day. And we thank all of you on behalf of the Hayes family, all of you being here to celebrate this wonderful life of Bill Hayes.
That was a really nice speech. So the floats thing, was that for 4th of July or something? Because it kind of sounds like it could have been for the 4th of July. Could have been a 4th of July thing. I'm not sure.
One voice.
Sorry, hang on a sec. Alright, so this is Bill's daughter, Carrie. This is his oldest kid, basically.
Bill's oldest child. Speaking today on behalf of my 4 siblings. Thank you all so much for being here to help celebrate the life of our father. William Foster Hayes III was born on June 5th, 1925, to William and Betty Hayes. Billy, as he was then known, grew up with his brothers, George and Phil, in a home filled with love and music. The Hayes household was a harmonious blend of intellect and creativity. Dad learned to sing in a barbershop quartet with his brothers and his father. Although he was incredibly bright, he never liked school. He didn't want to have to sit still and recite his lessons. It wasn't until his college years at DePaul University that education became a source of joy and meaning for him. Always ready for a challenge, he joined the Navy in 1943 and became a Navy fighter pilot because that was the most demanding area of the armed forces that he could think of.
Oh my god, can you imagine Bill Hayes flying a fucking plane? Holy shit.
In 1947, he married Mary Hobbs. I was born in 1948. Bill came along in 49, Catherine Christian in 51, Tom in 54, Davy Crockett in 55, and our baby sister Margaret in 56. Our parents divorced in 1969, and Dad headed west with the family. He started on Days of Our Lives in 1970, where he met a beautiful young actress by the name of Susan Seaforth. Fast forward to 1974 for one of Dad and Susan's 3 weddings. The real one. They would have celebrated their 50th anniversary.
One of their 3 one of their 3 wives? Holy shit. That's hilarious. One of their 3 wives.
This October. Our childhood, unbeknownst to us, was unlike that of our peers. We grew up immersed in the world of theater, often backstage watching shows from behind the scenes. We traveled during the summer to follow our dad in summer theater. We knew all the words to shows like Bye Bye Birdie, Carousel, Oklahoma. We extraed on Days of Our Lives and helped Dad to run lines. Actively engaged in our church when we were kids, our parents traveled to Africa to build a hospital. Their African friends became a part of our extended family, teaching us that the color of one's skin does not define their essence. One of Dad's closest friends was a gay choreographer and dancer. We learned a person's lifestyle does not determine their character. We have thanked him many times for instilling these values in his children so we could pass them on to our children and their children. What an amazing gift. We stand here today filled with gratitude. Gratitude for the remarkable life of William Foster Hayes III. We cherish the lessons he bestowed upon us, lessons of kindness, respect, integrity, acceptance of differences, the art of listening, the joy of music and dance, and unconditional love. On behalf of my siblings, we want to express our profound appreciation to Joseph Ramirez and all the extraordinary caregivers for the excellent, gentle, and loving care they provided for our father, Mr. Billy, in his final months. Joseph and the caregivers were a priceless gift to our family, offering respite and the assurance that our dad was in caring and capable hands.
Aw, that's nice. At least he had people looking after him. Considering all the stupid crap that was going on at Days behind the scenes.
2.5 years ago, an angel by the name of Amy Jean Shaughnessy tap danced her way into our lives. Already a member of Dad and Susan's family, she is now an honorary sister to us. We could not have asked for a more perfect or more competent personal assistant for our parents. Is there anything Amy can't do? We don't think so. We know that the job went so far beyond what she originally signed up for. Amy never flinched. She hung in there, literally putting her body in harm's way one day, trying to break Dad's fall. Amy, we love you.
Why would she mention this in her speech? Does anybody really need to know that shit? Jeez.
You are forever an official member of our family. Our deepest gratitude extends to the woman who truly brought unparalleled beauty into Dad's life. Born an only child with a quiet, idyllic life, she fell in love with and willingly agreed to marry a man with 5 kids and eventually 13 grandkids and 30 great-grands. She gave up her well-ordered life for the wild chaos we Hayes love so much. Her love, devotion, and care for her dear Billy were beyond measure, as was Dad's for his sweetie pie. When daily life demanded more care for Dad, she did not waver. If anything, she raised the level of her devotion and care, cooking his favorite poached egg every morning, making sure that he was dressed just so, finding a way to take him to the opera when it was not easy, running lines again and again with someone who could no longer see, and then somehow managing to look beautiful for a day at work.
My God, look at Susan. Poor lady, holy shit. Look at her, my God. Look at how sad she is, my God. This is why I don't really want an on-screen funeral for Doug. I don't think it's the right thing for her. I really don't want her to have to relive her trauma. And honestly, I don't think Days could pull off a decent tribute for Doug anyway. Where I have it be on off-screen, for her sake.
She greeted him every morning with, "Hello, darling," and a kiss on the lips. Susan Seaforth Hayes, I hope you know how much we love you and appreciate every single little and big thing you did for our dad. Grazie mille, ti vogliamo bene. I will close with a quote from our dad. We have no doubt that upon arriving at heaven's door, he shouted, "Yippee!"
Called The Fantastics. We love you, Grandpa.
Oh, is that another one of Wait, is that another one of the grandkids? Yeah, it's probably another one of the grandkids, I think. Yeah, so that's a song from the Fantastics. Try to remember. I'm gonna see if I can look up Jerry Orbach's rendition later. I think I'm gonna do that.
September when grass
nice duet. I like it so far. Yeah, I don't want to get into the personal family shit. I'm sorry. I just don't feel comfortable broadcasting this personal family shit. I don't feel comfortable broadcasting this personal family shit. I really don't feel comfortable broadcasting this personal family shit on my stream, so yeah. This is so many ass. Where's Susan? Are you fucking kidding me? You really think she's not gonna be there for her own husband's funeral? Alright, hang on, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Let's continue.
I want to thank everyone that's here. Some of you came a long, hard distance. You all have a little piece of my heart. This is undoubtedly the most positive audience I will ever face.
Oh my God, this poor woman.
The look of love. Bill Hayes had it and made this world shine with it, especially when he was looking at us. He was born to matchless parents whose 3 boys grew up to become part of what America calls the greatest generation. His lady mother, Betty, had the playful warmth and imagination of a fairy queen, Betty. William Foster Hayes, his debonair father, was a nurturing parent with theatrical flair and this robust tenor voice. Billy's first memory of being alive was climbing out of his crib and crawling along the floor to the top of the stairs so he could hear his father's barbershop quartet rehearsing. The Hayeses lived in Harvey, Illinois, a suburb of mighty Chicago, and little Billy loved to play baseball. He played baseball every day with his brothers and the kids in the neighborhood. And he also played piano with the natural ear to knock out any tune in any key. This unsettled his piano teacher, who discouraged such unbridled musicality. So he switched to the violin and fiddled away until his 92nd year. At Thornton High School, he joined the orchestra and began singing with his dad's church choir. He told me sometimes in this church, he could hear his dad's voice harmonizing with him on all the grand old hymns. Back at Thornton, in the string section, he sat across from the lovely Mary Hobbs. The petite redhead made quite an impression and was to become the first Mrs. Bill Hayes when they attended DePauw University together. Yes, during World War II, he joined the Navy and trained to become a fighter pilot. And the service taught him how to navigate by air and sea, how to fly a Stearman. That's an open cockpit plane. Goggles, white scarf. Yeah.
A stereotypical version of the Navy fighter pilot.
Yeah, just like you imagine. The Navy also taught him to dive off a 50-foot platform and swim 5 miles fully clothed in one go. Taught him to survive for 3 days on a deserted beach without food or water, and how to kill a man with his bare hands. Not planning to use these skills in civilian life,
Thank God, Bill, it wasn't the kind of guy that would even do that shit anyway. Oh, Lord. Can you really imagine Bill Hayes being like John Wick or Jason Statham or any of these other fucking guys? Like, holy shit. I'm sorry, I really should not be laughing. This is inappropriate. I'm sorry.
he was very happy to muster out of the Navy 24 hours after Japan surrendered. But he loved the flying. He'd dream about it many times. Wake up with a smile on his face. Here are some of the things he accomplished in his marvelous years among us. He raised 5 children. Years later, became a positive mentor to his 12 grandchildren. He helped build a village hospital in Angola. He wrote 2 published books, was working on a 3rd. He took up dancing seriously at 65. He earned a Master of Music degree at Northwestern, and at 73, a Doctorate of Education at University of West Virginia. He also served on the boards of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, the Professional Dancers Society for 30 years, and of course, First Christian Church. He had a gold record. He starred on Broadway for Rodgers and Hammerstein and in over 100 musicals, plays, and national tours. He made the cover of Time magazine in 1976, representing the pop culture of daytime drama. And from 1949 to 2024, participated in the dawn, high summer, and sunset of network television as we know it. There is a Lifetime Achievement Award on his piano. I should hope so. The following list of some of his favorite things besides chocolate: Italy, grand opera, lyrics, puns of his own composing, family dinners and choir rehearsals and tap dancing and up-tunes, new places to visit and old songs to sing. The Dodgers, New York City, serenades, and sunshine in the morning. Performing poached eggs, the Count of Monte Cristo, and Casablanca. Every single Christmas card with photos of his friends and family. Colored markers and piles of sheet music and an old safari jacket he wore to every continent, and the morning sports pages and his grandmother's violin. Red roses, red lips, red sauces, red wine, and an Indian ruby he gave to me. He took me to the Taj Mahal. He took me to the pyramids. He took me to the Great Wall of China. And he took me to paradise with every kiss. Songs he composed: Ramshackle Daddy, Here Comes the Macy's Parade, I Love to Tap, and I've Got the World by the Tail. Joyful tunes from a heart pounding with the rhythms of life. His mind and spirit never changed. I promise, it never changed. Till all those happy birthdays took his strength away. What gifts he had. My sweetest of sweethearts. My beautiful, ageless troubadour. My love is like a red, red rose. It's sweetly sprung in June. My love is like a melody. It's sweetly played in tune. What will people remember about this exuberant, intelligent, spiritual gentleman? The music, the great performances, the good times. You know, besides his talents, each one of you spoke of his kindness. In Webster's dictionary, the word kind means gentle.
Oh my god, I love how she's talking and you can literally hear the microphone being. Holy shit. I don't know if anybody else heard it, but I definitely heard it.
And generous. Yeah, That's it. I mean, that's it exactly. He treated all strangers as potential friends and never returned indifference with a harsh word or a cynical remark. Why did we all love him so much? Because he saw us. Bill gave everyone, the visitor at his door or a troubled grandchild, a smiling greeting that was full of optimistic expectation. What he saw in us was something wonderful. And we became, in his company, as wonderful as we all want to be. No surprise, his favorite movie was Love Actually. He was passionately reaching out to people his whole life song, with a song, a story, and that look of love. Love that transcends time and lifts us all into the light sublime, where creation never ends, and we all are shining too. May his love live on to warm you with his light. And oh, how bright is Billy's light.
That was a wonderful tribute to her husband. Like, that really spoke volumes to the type of person that he really was, and she basically recited all the things that she loved about him, what she remembered most about him. I don't know. Just worried. Anyways, let's move on from this fucking depressing shit. Alright, let's see. Okay, this could be interesting.
It's me, America's sweetheart, and I just love having a blast. The Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Kids party? Having a blast.
Try to remember the kind of September when life was slow and oh so mellow. Try to remember the kind of September when grass was green and grain was yellow. Try to remember the kind of September when you were a tender and callow fellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Try to remember when life was so tender that no one wept except the willow. Try to remember when life was so tender that dreams were kept beside your pillow. Try to remember when life was so tender that love was an ember about to billow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember.
Shit, who knew Blake Briscoe could sing, dude? Like, holy crap. It's a pretty nice song.
Although you know the snow will follow, deep in December, it's nice to remember. Without a hurt, the heart is hollow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember the fire of September that made us mellow. Deep in December, our hearts should remember and follow. Follow.
That was pretty good. Okay. Let's see. Law and Order. Ooh, this should be interesting.
Hi, I'm Jerry Orbach. Welcome to the precinct at Law and Order. This is my desk. There's some notes and things like that. And I think the only personal item here is a pool table that somebody gave me years ago. And it's down to 8 balls where there used to be 15. Nobody knows where the others disappeared to. This is the Pather's office, Lieutenant Van Buren.
Shut the door.
All of these walls are removable. If you look up, you can see a grid work, just like in a theater, where we can hang things from, hang lights and hang walls. It's a lot of fun. And we can go out this hall.
Oh, wow. That's pretty interesting.
This is a hall we walk down quite often. It's got the soda machine down at the end. And you're back in the precinct there.
Suspect dropped dead from a heart attack, and the family of the victim moved back to Kurdistan.
These are the law offices. You can see there's a conference room there.
Look at Jack McCoy, look at that.
Something tells me this isn't a coincidence.
These are some of the lawyers' offices, the judge's office. In through here, this is really Sam Waterston's office. And here's Jeff Hayes and Cotty Johnson, Stewart.
Hey, Jerry.
And our director, Don Scardino. This is Sam Waterston's office, which they're using as sort of a home base for the monitors right now, for when we're filming in the interrogation room. But we'll leave them to their dark design.
Bye, Jerry.
Bye.
Jerry. Stop by anytime.
Okay. This is where Liz Rome has her office, Serena's cubicle, they call it. Looks very neat, very tidy. And Big Fred Thompson, the head DA, is over here. And once again...
Oh, yeah. I've seen a couple of her more recent movies. Elizabeth Rome's movies. I've seen a couple of them. I've seen her more recent movies. She's a pretty good actress. And Fred Thompson, I think he used to be a setter, if I remember correctly.
It's all sort of emptied out right now, but all of these beautiful wood-paneled walls and everything can all be lifted away and moved away at any time.
Take the deal.
I already did.
Now I'll show you something.
Oh yeah, so Fred Thompson's character, Arthur Branch, he was Jack McCoy's boss. So before Jack McCoy was the head honcho, Arthur Branch was like the head honcho basically. And I guess Nolan Price and Samantha Marone are now in the same position that Jack McCoy was years ago.
We built that's pretty fancy. Okay. Now, this is our approximation of Rikers Island, which is the New York City prison. There's a check-in desk, lockers, interrogation room.
I give him about 10 minutes with Ed before he starts to sing.
Our luck, he sings as bad as he lies.
Holy shit.
This is where they come in and sign in at the desk before the visitors are allowed. And all of this is stuff that we built. That's not real. Up until a few years ago, we used to go down to an actual courthouse, the Tweed building down on Chambers Street in New York. And then one day we decided that was a lot of trouble. So we built this. This is our courtroom. And when it's filled with the jury box over here with the 12 jurors and the chairs there for the witnesses and for all the audience, then you see the courtroom that you see on television when Sam is here trying a case.
Wait, so are they using that set today? To this day? Are they still using that set?
Your Honor, with the court's permission, Ms. Sutherland will continue with the cross-examination.
That's fine with me.
And I'm sure you've seen this, where Sam and Liz will walk and talk after the trial. And then, usually at the end of a show, they'll get into the elevator and leave. Of course, this elevator doesn't go anywhere. These are the dressing rooms here. This is the dressing room area. That's Liz's room. This is my room, filled with memorabilia.
Notice his room's the biggest. Just notice that.
This is Jesse Martin. My room may be slightly bigger than his, but his is infinitely prettier than mine.
It's not at all. Like his wife came in here and put this room together. I ain't got no wife, so my room looks straight ghetto.
Let's look and see how this ghetto room looks.
I have to make sure it's not really ghetto. No, it's pretty ghetto. See, it's beautiful, right?
The Jesse Martin room, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm going to show them the hospital, and that'll sort of end the tour.
It's been fun so far.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to the hospital. Sometimes it's a hospital room with somebody sick in here. Right now it's set up as a technical laboratory of some kind, forensics lab. And in this particular episode, the technician is finding the tire treads from a bicycle. Come on down this way. Ordinarily, this section is the main nurse's desk and the hall down to the elevators, etc. All part of the hospital. And over here, this is the medical examiner's office where Leslie Hendricks works. The tables where the corpse is usually laid out are sort of stacked up here. And you see the sink and all the tools that my partner Jesse loves to play with. We're always looking at all these horrible tools and saying, wow, I wonder what they do with that. And over here is Leslie's office, the medical examiner's office, and somebody's idea of Leslie Hendricks as the medical examiner. And that is pretty much what we've got here at the pier. The rest is all done on location all around the city. All the Law and Order franchises, Special Victims Unit and Criminal Intent, are shot entirely in and around New York City. No other shows do that except Third Watch, which is also on NBC. And we like it that way.
Yeah, Criminal Intent's not even on air anymore.
Thanks.
And I don't think Third Watch is either. Oh my fucking god. Oh shit. What the shit? Oh, cool. See, you can hear some natural singing.
Start clean with Clorox. Because
live on stage at the Little Theater on the Square.
She's the one who speaks his recommend to sing the kind of thing your sister. Once that you stand, she'll know. Don't forget to bring a in. And she'll get your uncle or Dolly. If your eldest daughter needs a friend.
That's right, Mrs. Dolly Levi.
Call 217-728. Call 2.
Yeah, so I think she mentioned she did that play right after her son passed away. Also, this performance, she did this. This video says she did this in June of 2007. Literally 3 weeks after her first cancer. Literally 3 weeks after her surgery, her oral cancer surgery. Oh my god.
Here's a little story that should make you cry about two unhappy dames. Let's call them Lucy X and Jessie Y, which are not their real names. Now Lucy has the purity along with the unsurety that comes with being only 21. Jessie has maturity and plenty of security. Whatever you can do with them, she's done. Given their advantages, you may ask why these two ladies have such grief. This is my belief in brief. Lucy is juicy, but terribly drab. Jessie is dressy, but dull as a slab. Lucy wants to be dressy, Jessie wants to be juicy. Lucy wants to be Jessie, and Jessie, Lucy, you see Jessie is racy, but hard as a rock. Juicy is lacy, but dull as a smock. Jessie wants to be lacy, Lucy wants to be Jessie. That's hysterical crazy, it's very messy. Poor sad souls, itching to be switching roles. Lucy wants to do what Jessie does. Jessie wants to be what Lucy was. Lucy's a lassie, pat on the head. Jessie is classy, but virtually dead. Lucy wants to be classy, Jessie wants to be lassie. If Lucy and Jessie could only combine, I can tell you someone who would finally feel just fine.
Lucy X, beautiful Lucy X. She suspects now if you see Jessie what? Jessie what? Sweet as apple pie. You see Lucy, Jessie. Tell them that they ought to get together quick, 'cause getting it together is the whole.
She's a really good singer. And she actually dances pretty well. She dances pretty well. Holy shit.
Hey, what's up there?
Oh, I switched to H&R Block. Doing my own taxes online. I was able to file free, and it was so easy to do on my own. So long, TurboTax.
You could file free and easily do your own taxes online with H&R Block.
Yeah! We'll take the soaps and fans that TV threw away. We're the best creative geniuses. Oh yes, every day put to the test. Can we get a little press? The future's here. Just look around. We're all online.
That was really nice. It was actually kind of funny too. Oh. Okay. Alright. Oh shit, it's been an hour. Alright. Alright. Okay, so here we go. This woman's work. Oh god. Alright, alright, just give me a minute. Alright, just give me a minute. Alright, just give me a minute. Alright, so just give me a minute. Alright. Chapter 19. The next morning, Sonic slowly awoke to the sun shining on his face. He rolled over the snow with Amy, but his heart leapt to his throat. When I realized she wasn't there, he didn't have time to scream when he heard yells from outside the hut. Murder! Murder! Actually, you know what? Just give me a minute. Hang on, I gotta get something to drink. Just give me a sec. Alright, everybody. Alright. Okay, let's continue. Chapter 19. The next morning, Sonic slowly awoke to the sun shining on his face. He rolled over to snuggle with Amy, but his heart leapt to his throat when I realized she wasn't there. He did not time to scream when he heard yells from outside the hut. Murder! Murder! Sonic looked outside to see some of the freedom fighters running about in the mad pack. Julie, Sue, Knuckles, Anthony, so supposed to be Antoine or whatever, who gives a shit, Bunny, and Uncle Chuck running out to try to calm some of them down. Sonic on the ground were two in the night watchmen dead, and some of the freedom fighters were covering their bodies with sheets. A female black cat, who the fuck cares, was kneeling on the floor crying over one dog watchman's body. The Sonic quickly pulled on his blue jeans and white shirt and ran outside. Why the fuck is he wearing clothes? He doesn't wear any goddamn clothes. Why the fuck is he putting on fucking clothes? He doesn't wear fucking clothes. And Knuckles and Roller were looking at one of the bodies. The Sonic finally found his voice and ran towards Knuckles, Roller, and Julie Sue. Amy! He screamed. She's gone! What? Cried Julie Sue and Knuckles together. She's gone! She's been taken! Sonic screamed full panic. Uncle Chuck, Bonnie, and Tony ran over, and Uncle Chuck grabbed his nephew's hands. What's going on? Calm down, Sonic, he shouted. Amy's missing, cried Sonic. I woke up and she wasn't by my side. She was gone. No, cried Bunny. Oh God, cried Anthony. Knuckles studied the body of the watchman and finally pulled something out of his neck. Look at this, he cried, holding in his large hand. Julie Sue looked closely at it, so Uncle Chuck, Anthony, Bunny, and Sonic. Toss a dart, said Uncle Chuck. That's not just any kind of dart, said Roller, looking at dart closely. It's a swap-bot dart. Swap-bot dart? Everyone shouted. Swap-bots in Knuckles? Screamed Bunny. No, cried Julie Sue. Her knees buckled. Knuckles grabbed her before she hit the ground. Julie, he cried. It was Robotnik, said Julie Sue in a breathless tone. He's taken Amy. Everyone gasped. No, cried Roller. Sonic's cart caught in his throat, but instead of sorrow, it turned into rage. That fucking bastard! He said through gritted teeth. He is going to pay! He clenched his fist. Uncle Chuck and Roller looked worried. He had never seen Sonic so angry. Sonic's eyes flashed. When I see him, he snarled, he'll be sorry. In fact, he won't be sorry. He'll be dead. I'll make him pay. I'll make him wish he never even knew me. Oh man, this is so bad. This is so bad. This is so fucking bad. This fucking melodramatic shit. We have to get to Robo-Troublous, cringe Joey Stu. And as fast as we can, said Bunny. I'm going to, said Uncle Chuck. And me, said Anthony. We're all going, said Roller, standing up. Now let's go, cried Sonic. Let's do it to it for Amy. Let's go, said Knuckles. Let's shoot, shouted Sonic, pulling out a power ring. Hold on, everyone, he shouted. Knuckles, and then Sonic said, choose 10. He rocked up his speed, began to speed through the great forest toward the location Robo-Troublous. As Sonic ran towards Robo-Troublous, thoughts alerted into his head. Watch out, Robotnik. I'll make you sorry. You better not hate me. I won't lose her like I lost my Sally. I swear I'll fucking kill you. It won't be quick and quiet. It'll be loud and nasty. You'll be sorry your feast on the hedgehog. Hey, he's gonna kick his ass. Oh, never mind. She was calling my dad. She was calling my daddy. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I think she was calling my daddy. She was not calling me. Meanwhile, in Robotropolis, Amy slowly awoke. First thing she did were cold grips on his wrists. She was also laying on something hard and metal instead of the soft lid of her bed. She opened her eyes and saw herself half covered by a blanket on a metal table. Swap off surrounding her. In front of her was a roboticizer. Amy screamed. She pulled out her shackles, kicked her feet, but they were also shackled. The air was so cold, it was horrible, especially she was naked, except for the blanket that was wrapped around her body. Sonic! She screamed, Sonic, help me! She kicked and screamed, tossed her quills about. She continued to scream and cry. She pulled her jeans, then suddenly she heard her voice. Stop your screaming, you little bitch! Amy looked up to Steve Snively, walking towards her with an evil smirk on his face. We wouldn't want to spoil the surprise. Excuse me. We wouldn't want to spoil the surprise for your blue lover now, would we? What do you mean, you neo-nose bastard? She screamed. She pulled her chains. Robotnik decides to wait until Sonic is filthy gang gayer, then the fun will begin. He smiled and ran his finger under his throat. Amy felt her heart leap to her. Why does this author keep repeating the same fucking phrase over and over again? That's so weird. Amy felt her heart leap to her throat, then she felt pain in her stomach. The child had given her a big kick. The baby must have been frightened too. Amy was terrified but tried to will herself to survive. We're gonna be okay, little one, she thought. You're gonna be okay, someone will get here. Oh my god, I'm not reading this shit. Meanwhile, Sonic, Knuckles, and the others have made a Robotropolis. Sonic's eyes were blazing. He had never felt so angry in his life. The thing he happens to Amy will brought him appear dearly. With his life, he could feel the anger boiling up inside him, getting stronger and stronger. Knuckles led the way into... You know what? I'm gonna pretend this is Doug. You know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna pretend this is Doug, like barging in to save Julie, John Wick style. Fuck this shit. Meanwhile, Doug made it into Stefano's lair. His eyes were blazing. I've never felt so angry in his life. If Amy happens to Julie, Stefano paid dearly with his life. He could feel the anger boil up inside and getting stronger and stronger. Hang on. And then Doug sees Julie getting fucking sexually assaulted by Stefano. The bastard, he snarled. He pulled back his fist and looked at the others. Now he shouted. He struck his fist at the window. As he did so, the shards of glass caused his hand to bleed. He didn't care. All he cared about was saving Julie. Stefano, I'm gonna kick your ass, he screamed as he jumped in, with the others following and brandishing their weapons. He had looked towards Stefano. Hey, you fucking pervert, get your hands off her! Stefano and Doug looked up when he... Stefano and Dr. Rolf looked up when he saw Doug. Hello, Mr. Williams, you're just in time! Doug then flew towards Dr. Rolf with flying kick, knocked the German mad scientist off of his wife. Julie cried with relief. Doug then faced Stefano. "You're gonna pay dearly for what you did to my wife, you son of a bitch." Stefano laughed. "Oh, am I, Mr. Williams?" Ian looked at Dr. Rolfe, who was shaking stars away from worse. Doug had kicked him. And then John runs over to Julie, who is still chained to the metal bed. "Get me off here, please," she sobbed. And then Julie gets fucking freed. Stefano then looked across to Dr. Rolfe, who was walking towards Julie with the knife. "Kill her, Dr. Rolfe! Kill her while you can!" Dr. Rolfe then grabbed Julie by her arm, by the chest, and lifted the knife to slit her throat. Doug screams out, "No!" He then lunges over to Dr. Rolfe and punches him in the face. Julie then falls to the ground, breathing heavily. Doug then sits on top of Dr. Rolfe and proceeds to beat the ever-loving shit out of him. And then all the other stalemates start beating the shit out of Stefano's fucking minions. John then turns to Doug, who is still in a fight with Dr. Rolfe. "We got Julie, let's get the fuck out of here!" And then Doug knocks the shit out of Dr. Rolfe. Stefano just steps over, rams his metal fist on a table Julie had been chained on, causing everyone to jump back and follow her in shock and fear. John then drops Julie, and Stefano looms over her. He then grabs her by the throat, pulled her up, intending to choke the ever-living shit out of her. "Now it's time to destroy you," Stefano cackled. And then Stefano ends up trying to choke the shit out of Julie. Julie tries to scream, but she couldn't as Stefano's hand was tightening around her throat. Doug looked up from the floor where Stefano had knocked him in shock and saw Julie in Stefano's grasp almost a few moments from death. His heart was full of anger and fury. Then his body began to smoke and turn a very dark color, and his eyes turned white and flashed. His breathing got raspy and he bared his teeth. He looked up at the evil Italian mobster. He began to scream in fury, "Let her go, you fucking bastard!" He then jumped up and flew towards Stefano. His teeth were bared, his eyes flashed as he pounded Stefano many times in the fucking face. Stefano dropped Julie. He fainted. He got beat and cut and sliced by Doug. And then Marla runs over to Julie and tries to revive her. Everyone stares in order at the pissed off and enraged and psychotic Doug being ever-loving shit out of Stefano. As they watched, Julie, who was in Marla's arms, awoke. Opening her eyes slowly, she saw Doug in his dark form battling Stefano. Doug, no! And then she slowly found trickle into her legs and bit her stomach, and she let out cry agony. She had gone to labor. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. This chapter is quite a bit coordinate. Get a bucket handy in case you get sick. Enjoy. Oh my lord. Chapter 20. Amy clutched her stomach. Her face contorted as she tried to take the bait. Oh, sorry. I mean, Chapter 20. Julie clutched her stomach, and her face contorted. She tried to take the pain. Marlena tried to keep her calm. She turned to John and yours. Julie's war is broken. We gotta get the hell out of here. Oh shit! John cried. He didn't look up towards Doug. It was still bound Stefano. Stefano looked a dreadful sight. His face is covered with deep slice wounds. His body was covered in bruises and bloody cuts. Doug didn't stop attacking Stefano, then stood on his fat stomach. Now you'll pay the price, he said in a messy voice. His eyes still glowing pure white with fury. And before Stefano had a chance to scream, Doug rolled into the ball and cut his quills through his flesh arm and practically cut it clean off. Stefano's blood sprayed everywhere. The freedom fighter screamed and some blood sprayed all over him. Marlena tried to shoot Julie was gurgling out in agony from labor torment. What was happening? Oh my god. Oh my lord. Doug then rolled into a ball again. Yes. Stefano screamed and howled over the pain of his severed arm. He then got the doctor's head, causing blood and brains to be split everywhere. Spilling blood and brains everywhere, holy shit. Freedom Fire screen again. And Abe proceeded to vomit. So did Tony, as though he would faint. Doug then stopped and stood on the dead mobster's body. He was still in his dark form, sweating and covered in Robotnik's blood and breathing heavily. Burn in hell, fucker! He said with a snarl. He did reach far and grab Robotnik's mustache, and then with a roar, he bolted him. Then with sickening noise of air ripping from skin as he pulled it out, then he lifted his foot and stomped on his bloody and mutilated face, crushing his skull and brains. Finally he stopped and held the mustache above his head, crying out in triumph and satisfaction. "Shugenhag!" cried Lee in shock. Doug then turned to Lee, who had tears running down her cheeks. "What have you become?" Doug, seeing her tears, and slowly began to turn his normal blue self. "Lee," he said softly. Lee then looked at Stefano's mango mutant body and then ran up to Doug. "What did you?" cried Lee. "Oh God!" She didn't know what to think, say or do. Dom then looked at Stefano's body. He's dead, he said with satisfaction. I got my revenge. He'll never harm Julie or anyone else ever again. Sean tried not to look at the blameless or think about Don's transformation. The first thing on his mind was Julie, who was holding her stomach in pain. Alright, that's basically it. That's it. That's it. We're done. Oh god. Yeah, that's it. We're done. Done with this shit. Oh my god. Yeah, we're done. Oh man. That was so funny. Anyways, if you like this video, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. This is Speed This Girl signing off.